Hi friends, it's Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So it's time for another YA fantasy releases video, and this time for May. And this video is going to be a little different than usual because I have 6 YA fantasy books to share with you, but I also have 1 YA historical fiction that I'll be sharing with you as well. And as usual, we'll be talking about these in order of release date from soonest to latest. Book number 1 comes out on May 5th. And Elle, King by Bex Hogan. So this one takes place in the fairy realms, and long ago kings and queens exchanged magical talismans with each other in order to maintain harmony in their world. The Stag King gave up a shard of antler, the Owl King a feather, and the Minnow Queen a shimmering silver scale. However, since then, the Owl King has grown restless and his kingdom has become a very dangerous place to live because he feeds off the magic of others. And so he is always on the hunt for a new bride to sustain him. So 2 devoted sisters, Izzet and Lila, are brought to his court. And he immediately becomes enamored with the beautiful Lila. And Izzet becomes determined to save her sister from this fate. And so she heads off on a journey to try to find the feather that the Owl King had given up. Because if she can find this feather, then that will shift the balance of power in their world. And on her journey, she ends up being joined by a strange magpie and 2 shadow fairies. And this book in particular caught my eye because of the whimsical and fairy tale-like vibes. And those usually end up being my favorite types of stories, are ones that are just full of whimsy and magic. And also, I want to know more about this strange magpie and these 2 shadow fairies that Izzet ends up befriending. Book number 2 also comes out on May 5th, and Stormbreaker by Nisha Tuli. And this is the first book in a trilogy that is described as a gripping dystopian romance filled with forbidden power, ruthless challenges, and a heroine who refuses to burn quietly. So for this one, I'm going to read the synopsis because it's not too long and gives a good overview of the story. For 19-year-old Poet Graves, New Manhattan has always promised safety if she obeys. Raised within the ruling houses and betrothed to a powerful heir, she enters Armory Academy knowing her future has already been decided. But Armory is nothing like she imagined. Its trials are brutal, its loyalties conditional, and its rules designed to expose weakness. As Poet struggles to survive, she must hide the truth that could get her executed. The storms don't fear her, they answer back. When a dangerous outsider from beyond the city walls enters the academy, Poet is drawn to him despite everything she's been taught to believe. He threatens the life she's been promised, and choosing him could cost her not just her future, but her freedom. So the thing that intrigues me the most about this synopsis is the line that says, "The storms don't fear her, they answer back." Like, that line has me super intrigued. Like, I want to know what that means. Does that mean that she has a certain magical power to control, like, the weather or something? Like, I need to know more. And then the other thing that is drawing me to this book is that the Academy is giving me Fourth Wing vibes. Also, I want to mention that on the description, it does say that the deluxe limited edition will include 2 bonus scenes from the hero's POV. Book number 3 comes out on May 12th, and it's The Hanging Bones by Elle Tesch. This one takes place in a world where every couple of years there is a hunt for this otherworldly magical being that takes the form of a stag. And if you catch this stag, you are granted the death of any person of your choice. However, if no one catches the stag within the allowed time limit, then it will claim the soul of one of the hunters. And so our main female character in this one is Katrin, and she lives on the border of this forest where the hunt takes place. And so she usually acts as a gamekeeper for the Baron that rules the lands. And so she doesn't normally participate in the hunt, but this year is different. This year she will be taking part because the lecherous Baron has his eye on her beloved cousin. And so in order to save her cousin from this fate, her only option is to take the Baron out of the picture. And so to do so, she needs to win this hunt. However, this is going to be easier said than done because something hungry has begun to stir in the woods. And this thing is even more powerful and older than the stag. So this one sounds like it's going to be very exciting with the hunt for this magical stag. And I want to know more about that magical stag. And I also really want to know more about this hungry creature that has awakened in the woods. And so this one sounds like it'd be like the perfect read for either Summerween or spooky season. Book number 4 also comes out on May 12th and is Under a Carnivore Sky by Brianna Jett. This one takes place in a town that is surrounded by a maze-like man-eating swamp. And in this swamp lives a monster, and this monster has a curse that affects all the adults in town. And so little by little and piece by piece, it is stealing the flesh and bones of the adults. And so many people have tried to either kill the monster or escape the town, but both to no avail. And so our main female character in this is Lily, and she is determined to kill the monster and end the curse. And then our main male character is Caleb, a bookish boy with dreams of escaping the town. And he believes that with Lily's help, he can draw a map to freedom. And she believes that with his help, she will finally be able to find the monster and kill it. And so the two start to work together. And as they are doing so, they start to fall in love, but they also uncover some secrets that have them questioning everything they thought they knew about their town and the people that live there. So the premise of this one just sounds so fascinating with the man-eating swamp and the monster and its curse. And I really want to know the secret behind the swamp and the monster. And the romance in here also has the potential, I think, to be really cute and sweet. And I love that the description notes that Caleb is bookish. And so that automatically makes me want to know more about his character. And the description of this book is also giving me similar vibes to Small Favors by Erin Craig, and I absolutely loved this book. Book number 5 comes out on May 19th, and it's Song of the Saltings by Rachael King. So this one takes place on an isolated island where every year a sacrifice has to be made to the Glim, which is the creature that haunts the salt marshes. And once it demanded children, but that changed 8 years ago when it spared the child that was supposed to be sacrificed and took her pony instead. And the child that was spared is our main female character, Lotta, and now she is 16 years old and she keeps her distance from the other islanders because while some regard her as a hero, some look at her with suspicion. And so she pretty much just keeps to herself and tends to the sacrificial horses. However, she ends up crossing paths with Moss, a boy who was supposed to be sacrificed to the creature but was hidden, and so he escaped that fate. And the two of them end up doing something that then causes a chain of events to happen that makes them start to question everything they thought they knew about the island and the people in charge. And while they're trying to figure out exactly what is going on, strange things start to happen, like crops and animals becoming blighted and strange weather. And so I feel like this one sounds kind of similar to the previous book that I just talked about. And so similarly, again, I am intrigued by the mystery of this one. I want to know, like, what is up with this island? What is up with this magical creature? What secrets are the townsfolk hiding? And also, I feel like this one also has the potential to have a cute romance as well. I do usually always enjoy books more if they have some romance in them, whether it be the main focus or just like a subplot. Book number 6 comes out on May 26th, and it's Behind Five Willows by June Her. So this is the one historical YA fiction that is on this list, and this one I am particularly interested in because it is a Jane Austen retelling, but it takes place in historical Korea. And so that fact alone makes me want to pick up this book. But then I'm even more intrigued by this one because our main female character works as an illegal book transcriber. And then our main male character is an author, like he writes, but he's from a noble family, and so he has to hide that he is a writer from his family because reading and writing fiction is not only seen as frivolous, but also it's illegal. And then to make things even more interesting, the male love interest is actually the female main character's favorite author. And so her favorite author goes by the pen name of the Black Lotus, and she gets to transcribe his books. And she also ends up writing him encouraging letters under the pen name of Magpie. And those letters are like one of the only things in the main male character's life that are keeping him going. And so that aspect of the book just sounds really cute and heartwarming. And then the Pride and Prejudice retelling part comes in when our main female character's older sister ends up falling for this wealthy upper class guy, and so she has to work as a chaperone to her sister. And of course, this guy has a friend who at first seems insufferable and arrogant. And also, she doesn't know that he's her favorite author, and he doesn't know that she's the one who's been sending him these encouraging letters. And so this one just sounds like it's going to be very fun and cute. Book number 7 and the final book on this list comes out on May 26th, and it's The Last Best Quest Ever by F.T. Lukens. So for this one, I'm going to read the synopsis because it just sounds so fun. 17-year-old Eleanor has the best questing record in the kingdom. Not even Adden, the infuriatingly charming royal who's become her fiercest rival, can compete. But every one of Eleanor's triumphs is a lie. The monsters she's slain, staged. The treasures she's claimed, planted. Tired of the charade, she shocks the realm by retiring during a royal feast. Her hopes for a quiet life vanish when her reckless twin brother Zig bets his life on her ability to retrieve the horn of the mythical elder beast, a creature no one believes is real. To save him, Eleanor must return to the spotlight for one final quest. She's joined by Zig, eager to prove himself, Adden determined to finally outshine her, and a ragtag crew of unlikely questers with big dreams, questionable skills, and a knack for trouble. As the stakes rise, Eleanor must decide who she really wants to be, the fraud the kingdom celebrates, the hero it needs, or someone entirely new. So this one just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and cozy, and just seems like it'll be the perfect book to pick up when I want cozy, happy vibes. And I have read a book by this author before, and that book was Otherworldly, and this one I read this past winter and really enjoyed this, and so I have high hopes for this one. So those are 7 YA books coming out this May, and if I have to choose, I feel like the ones I am most interested in on this list are Behind 5 Willows by June Her and Under a Carnivore Sky by Brianna Jett. But let me know down below which ones of these caught your eye. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!